What up, I'm Devin on Deck, and today I'm giving you 25 facts about me. Welcome back to DevanOnTech, where I give you how-tos and reviews, and occasionally some creative talk. So this is kind of along the lines of the creative talk video we had, I want to say a month, maybe 2 months ago, where I just shared with you how I stay inspired, where my creativity comes from, and just gave you some hacks on how you can be more creative for yourself. And the reason I made that video is because a lot of the questions y'all were asking me in the DMs and comments on the gram kind of pertain to that subject. Lately, y'all just been asking a whole bunch of personal questions. And instead of being uncomfortable, like I normally would have in the past, I have YouTube now, so I can just tell y'all all about myself. So I put out a Ask Me Anything, I want to say a couple days ago on the gram, and y'all really overwhelmed me. Y'all hit me with a lot of comments and even more DMs just asking a cornucopia of questions. So here we are, time to answer them. But before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I've kind of built up a name for myself through my very imaginative and style-driven Instagram content. So I want to dedicate a portion of my YouTube to giving you how-tos on content and editing, as well as insight into how to tell the best stories, effective stories, and creative stories in the digital space. So if that sounds good to you, you are in the right place. Okay, so let's get to this list. Now, when I went through these questions, I quickly realized that I would have to break this video up into 2 parts, okay? And here's why. Half the questions were personal and about me, okay? And that's what I'm answering in this video right now. And the other half were more advice about digital marketing, becoming an influencer, and how'd you get there? And what advice do you have for people that want to make their passions into their careers? That is going to be part 2 of this video, okay? And that will be dropping literally right after this one. So this one should be dropping on a Thursday. The next one's gonna be Sunday, okay? So it's gonna be boom, boom. I'm not gonna wait 2 weeks or a month until the number 2 comes out. It's gonna be right after this one. This video is more about getting to know me, a little bit about my story, and literally 25 facts about me that you just don't know. So here we go. So although I live in LA right now, I am born and raised in Oakland, California. That's in Northern California, right by San Francisco, about 20 minutes away. Clearly I'm a black man, but I have no idea where my ancestors come from, specifically in Africa. I have no idea. The only heritage I do know is actually in Guam. So my grandmother is half Guamanian. I'm gonna put a picture up right now for you. This is her family. She's the baby, and everyone else, for the most part, I think, all the older people at least, they're full Guamanian. So I got a little bit of that Pacific Islander in me. And I still haven't gone yet. I really want to go to Guam. Now, those of y'all with the eagle eyes, especially the ladies for whatever reason, have noticed that I have this ring on my left hand. That is because I am married to a beautiful woman. Her name is Shanae. We've been married for 7 years, and you will meet her very soon. So she wasn't really comfortable being on camera, but now she's warming up to it. So soon you'll meet her. She's great. Trust me, she's the best. I love dogs. I really want to have a Yorkie, but in my current living situation, not allowed to have pets here. But when we move, definitely getting a Yorkie, okay? Doggy on deck, coming soon. If I could do college over again, I would have dropped out sooner. I learned basically everything I needed to learn within the first 2-3 years. And as a creative, your portfolio outweighs your degree every time, as far as my experience goes. As far as what I've seen from creatives that are very successful, some of them have no degrees, but are very talented and have proven their work over time. And I wish I knew that sooner, and I would have dropped out and been in less debt now. My favorite season is fall, winter. I love the cold, do not like the heat, and I love layering. I can be the most stylish when I can layer. I will say right now, the quote that inspires me the most is, let me get this right, appreciate your process and trust the timing of your life. Those are the wise words of Julian Mitchell. I'm telling you, I follow him on Twitter and his tweets are fire, but that's the one that really stuck with me, and it helps me be more patient. I'm very impatient with myself and my aspirations and my goals, so it keeps me in check. When I'm not working or editing, in my free time, I like to watch a lot of movies and anime, naturally. Everything you see in my Instagram profile is true. I think there's a trend of creatives putting things in their profile that they aspire to be, but they don't actually have experience in those realms. That's not the case for me. I'm actually an art director. I definitely have experience creative directing, photo shoots, video shoots, and content, digital or print, around consumer goods, usually in the fashion zone, but yes, actual thing. Entrepreneur, that's a true label. That's something that I actually am. I'm the co-founder of Myclo. It's a hat company made in USA, and we've been around for a couple years and we're profitable, so that counts. Obviously, I'm a style guy. I've been pushing this contemporary street luxe style thing for the last 2 years. Definitely a thought leader within like the last year. And yes, I'm an actual digital strategist. I build content strategies for companies and individuals, and that's more of like the thinking behind the content to help reach business goals. So not so much the creative, it's tied closely to the creative, but again, it's the thinking behind it. You know what you don't see on my profile? Blogger. Yes, I'm not a blogger. I repeat, I am not a blogger, okay? I have a lot of friends that are bloggers. I love them, they're great at doing it. It's just not my thing, all right? My website's more so like a digital agency website because that's my background, that's where I come from. The influence that I have is a result of my skill. So that's why you don't see influencer or brand ambassador on my thing. So if this wasn't my career, I probably would do something in the music space. I definitely still have a strong passion for lyricism. I still freestyle like every single day to keep my mind sharp, you know? And I do have some of my friends that do music, you know, professionally asked me to be on tracks before, but I'm not into it right now. I'm not in the space right now. So I might revisit it, but at the moment, no. I've been an extrovert as long as I can remember. I started modeling when I was 7 in elementary school. I took up theater when I was in middle school. I did battle rapping when I was in high school. So being a center of attention in like a high stakes, intense situation doesn't really faze me. Public speaking, easy. I definitely had bullies growing up, but it wasn't like push me around the hallway, like put hands on me type bullies. It was just like more like verbal abuse. I think growing up, it was a height thing for a long time. Like coming into high school, I was like 5'4", 110 pounds. I was little. And then when I got taller, I was dressing so weird compared to everybody around me that looked like me that I got teased for that. So I kind of always got teased verbally and bullied verbally, but that's about it. Nothing crazy. I first got into fashion through my mom. I think she always dressed me really well as a kid. If I have any pictures, I'll put them up. I feel like I was a pretty steezy, pretty stylish kid. Like I said, I modeled when I was like 7, and I got like a little scholarship. I got to fly out to New York. I won some competitions. It was cool. It was short-lived, but that kind of might have what started it. But I didn't start making my own fashion choices until probably like middle school. But I've always wanted to be an individual. I think I always wanted to customize everything and make it my own. So I think a lot of it came from that internal desire to be original, to make sure I'm expressing like me outwardly. So the 2 biggest risks in my life, one was getting married at a young age. I got married when I was 23. And 2 was betting on myself once I left Snapchat. Both situations are super daunting and can be really intense and really test you as a person, but they both definitely made me grow. They definitely made me grow the fastest and mature into more of a man and a better man. So those are the 2 biggest risks I've taken, but they paid off in a major way. Anytime I pick out an outfit, I always start with shoes first. If I could make any product I wanted to my wildest dreams and collab with the company, it would be footwear. I definitely still have a strong desire to design my own shoes. I went to college for that. That's what I studied, footwear design. So it's still a strong passion of mine. I mean, you look on my Instagram, you see mostly shoes. So yeah, I definitely want my own sneaker at some point. My remedy for creative blocks is to look at things that are outside of my lane, right? I don't look at other fashion people or dudes or things to get inspired. If I need to get inspired around content, I'll look in other arenas. You know, I watch a lot of anime. I might go to an art show. I might go to a museum. I might go to the library. I might pick up a magazine. I change my intake if I want my output to be different. And I touched on this too in the Creative Talk video. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you to tap that now. It's gonna pop up on one of these sides. Tap it if you wanna see more about that. But it works every time. As far as my favorite Instagram accounts go, there's a lot of them. So I'm gonna put a few up on the screen right now. And by far, these aren't my number ones, you know, or any particular order, but it'll give you a good idea of what inspires me. I think I follow accounts for the most part that inspire me or that I can draw from in some way. And it's a variety. It's not gonna be a certain type or style. So just look through them. I think you'll have fun kind of just seeing what I'm into. I would say the biggest lesson that I learned in life, the most impactful lesson, is to learn to listen to my inner voice. Some people call it a conscience. I call it the Holy Spirit. It's really just listening to your gut, that inner voice that just knows all. Anytime I've listened to that voice, I've had the biggest wins. Anytime I didn't listen to it, I've had my biggest losses and made my biggest mistakes. So I think it's really trusting that inner voice inside yourself that tells you to do the right thing. And it takes practice, but I think I'm getting better at it. But I think that's the biggest lesson for me, is trusting my gut. So here's a question I get a lot, especially from friends that know me, like people close to me. Why you give all your secrets away? And really, I'm just confident that A, I know I have my own eye, you have your own eye. No one's gonna make work exactly like me. 2, I get a kick out of empowering others. I love giving. I love bringing value to the community that I'm building and that supports me. So that's another one. And 3, I'm just confident. I'm confident in my ability to come up with the next thing, to think of something new. And it pushes me, it challenges me that, okay, now you've given all your secrets away, Devin, what's next? So I love that what's next. I love making myself uncomfortable. That's how I grow. So those are the reasons why. And mostly it's to help y'all. Like really, I just have to just let it go and say, forget it. And giving to you has then given back to me and empowered me to be better. So it's a win-win. Until this year, I had not traveled outside the USA. Well, except for Mexico, but that doesn't really count. But this year I've gone to Iceland, London twice, Florence, Italy, and I think that's it for this year. But if I could pick anywhere else I want to go, my number one place that I want to go is Japan. I want to go to Japan so bad. I want to go to Tokyo so bad. Little Asia tour if I can, but really just Tokyo. One of my major goals this year, like top 3, like this is a big one, is to begin hosting panels and teaching classes for creatives, digital marketers, and brands, so I can really bring value in person. So I'm in talks with a few entities to figure out how I'm gonna do that, but definitely doing that and not by myself. That's all I can say. Whew. Okay, well that is 25 facts about me. Now, as I said in the beginning of the video, this is part 1. Part 2 is gonna be more about advice. A lot of y'all ask me questions around clienteling and building a customer base and starting as an influencer, leaping from working corporate into being creative full-time. And I intend to answer all those on the next video. But if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any more questions, anything you want to ask about me, anything you're wondering, any feedback, anything that surprised you, whatever you want to say it in the comments right now. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I appreciate your time as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.